welcome to my YouTube channel. On this YouTube, we talk about human resource related topics, and also we are talking about financial management tips. And I'll be very glad to engage with you in my comment section. If this is your first time, please welcome so much to my channel, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also leave a comment and share with your friends. Today I'm going to talk about something that is currently happening around the world and is affecting us, and in one way or the other, maybe you have felt it. I'm going to talk about 5 tips or some few tips that can help you to beat the rising cost of inflation. Regardless of the country where you're living in, or regardless of the place, you realize that the cost of commodities are rising at very high speed, and this one also make life to become more difficult, whichever the place you're living in. And now we're going to see some of the tips that you can use, or some of the tips that you can put in place to help you cope up with the current situation, because we still don't know when will this situation come to an end. So it is very important for us to look on some of the ways that can help us to beat this kind of inflation. So we realize that for the past few months, the inflation has really increased. This is as a result of high prices of fuel, and also the disruption in supply chain all over the world. And this one happens because of the normal reasons that we all know, everybody is aware of. And maybe somebody can think that it's something that we are going to get out of it soon, and we still don't know when it will end. So that's why it is very important for us to see a few tips that can help us to manage ourselves during this kind of period. Number one tip that can help you is you need to create or update your budget. So one of the best way to beat the inflation is to follow a budget. So ensure that you watch your spending for some period of time, and only spend in what is necessary. So regardless of how inflation affects the cost, something like petrol, because that is the most important thing. Once the gas goes up, everything automatically will goes up, because almost everything depends on that. So once it happens, you need to be very sure that you have to set your budget limits. Try to set your budget limits that, and most of the things that inflation may affect are the things like clothing, the things like food, and the things like housing. These are the most important things, because we cannot do away with them. We cannot live without them. So make sure you put the things, you set your budget, and if you have budget already, try to update your budget accordingly, so that at least it can help you to know on how to spend your money, and also know on how you can know where your money is going. Number two thing that you can use, or number two tip that you can also help you, is you need to prioritize your spending. Don't just spend your money anyhow, because we realize that the income is not enough for the people who are working, and even the businesses are not doing that well. So try as much as possible to prioritize your spending. Don't just spend your money anyhow without knowing how to spend your money. And this one will also get us back to number one, create your budget. So once you create your budget, it will help you on how you can prioritize your money. You can also give up in certain activities or certain expenditures that makes you feel nice, rather than necessary expenditure. So try as much as possible to put your money on things that are necessary, not things that makes you feel good. If you do this, it will help you on how you can live economically during this particular period of time. And also number 3 tip that can also help you, and will be very important for you, and very helpful for you, is you need to look for cheaper alternatives. As price of commodities, as price of things goes high, try as much as possible to look for cheaper alternatives. Don't go for brand shop, like the branded shop, like shop that have the shop that are expensive, or the groceries that are expensive things. Try to look for cheap alternative. This one will also help you to save certain amount of money, and by doing this, you realize that at least when things are even getting tough, at least you can still find yourself in a good position, because you don't just spend your money anyhow, and at least you are spending on your money carefully, because you are looking for better alternative. Number 4 tip that is also beneficial to you, that is going to help you, try to invest in your future. Any good budget, if you are creating budget, any good budget will have to suffer some consequences, because it will have to to be adjusted at some point of time. You don't just create budget without adjust it. So once you create a budget, try as much as possible to create a budget that you will be able to adjust, and also invest. Try to invest in something that will bring you money. Continue to save money and invest your money, especially for your retirement. If you are planning for retirement, continue to keep saving and continue to invest your money, so that at least when things are getting bad, at least you can have some kind of alternatives that can bring you money. Try as much as possible to have some passive income in your planning or in your budget, as you're trying to budget and save, and also invest your money. This will also will help you during this particular time. The last one, you need to try as much as possible to pay down your debt. When inflation is high, we realize that the investment rate generally increase to control the economy. So this one will, if there is floating, if you have something that you have the float rates, like floating debt, try as much as possible to settle your debt, because if you don't settle your debt, it will be a barrier for you. So try as much as possible to settle your debt. Set a limit on how much you're going to use in your credit cards, on how much you're going to use on borrowings and all that. So once you set your limit, it will help you that you cannot pass that limit, because you know that if you pass that limit, maybe you will not be able to pay that amount that you have passed. So try as much as possible to set your limit, and also try to stop overspending, because if you overspend too much, it will lead you into a financial crisis. So try as much as possible not to spend too much, and also try to pay your debt and also set standard or set limits in your credit card. So these are some of the few tips that can help you to beat the increasing inflation that we all facing right now. So thank you so much for watching this video. If this is your first time, or if this is your first time watching my video, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll be very glad to engage with you on my comment section every time. And thank you so much, and see you in the next video.